Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss books in horror, and today I bring you my TBR for the month of December.
It's coffee time!
First of all, let's address the fact that it's already December again. Like, what happened? Where did 2023 go? It's just crazy to me that we are in December again. And this year I have tried to create a TBR pile that is kind of Christmas themed so that I can get into the spirit. And I'm hoping this year to be able to read as much Christmas horror as possible. This year, unfortunately, I'm not going back home for Christmas because I still have some classes that are happening during December and January for my acting course. So I decided not to go home over Christmas and I will just go somewhere next year to visit my parents. And so I'm hoping to have more time in my hands to catch up with a little bit of reading before the end of 2023. Also, since Yug happened and I brought back many books, currently I do have a big physical TBR pile and I would like to get that down before I do purchase a lot more new books. So I decided to look for Kindle options for my Christmas horror books, and I did find some that I wanted to read that were on Kindle, so I'm quite happy and pleased with the list that I have put together for myself. Most of them are in Kindle, so let's get through them. First is The Candy Cane Killer by Emmy Ellis, but I did learn when I was checking out what the book was about that it is actually a revisited edition of a book called The Gift is Murder, so some people might know it by that name. It's Christmas time and Sister Leanne is walking down the streets when she comes across a guy on the street that is a homeless person, and of course she goes to ask him, you know, how he's feeling, if he needs something. That guy's name is Carl, and Sister Leanne offers to take him back with her to the nunnery, and of course he thinks, you know, what harm can a nun bring me? Well, apparently a lot. I know this book also follows a detective that investigates crimes and murder, so I don't know, I'm really excited about this one, and yeah, let's see who is the Candy Cane Killer. Next we have Everything is Temporary by John Coe. This is another book that was released this year, and it follows a family during Christmas, and apparently the husband is dealing with a lot of PTSD. He has some trauma related to Christmas, and he's in a really bad mood. He starts to act weird, and the wife kind of goes down a path to try to figure out what's wrong with her husband, how she can maybe help him, support him. Now, this doesn't sound much like horror, but trust me, it is a horror book. Candy Cane Kills by Brian Macaulay, which is a very kind of similar title to the first book, but it is quite different. The moment I saw that cover, I knew that I wanted to read this book. It really says Christmas in horror. I love the colors, and I was able to find this one for my Kindle. Austin's parents take him and his sister to a remote cottage to spend a beautiful family, you know, gathering together Christmas night. But we all know it's not gonna end up well for this family, or at least as horror fans, we kind of hope so. But what the family doesn't know yet is that horrible things have happened around that area and that there is a serial killer on the loose. Leave the World Behind by Ruman Alam, and this is one that I put on my TBR that it's not specifically Christmas related, but I know that the movie adaptation is about to come out and I am really eager to watch it. However, I do want to read the book first, so I think this is one of the books that I'm gonna make a priority. So the 1st of December I might start right away with this one because I want to read it ASAP. I just don't want the movie to spoil the book for me. We have a family that have decided to rent a beautiful home to spend some quality time together, and they get there, everything seems great, the house is fantastic, but then they receive the visit of two strangers knocking on their door saying they are actually the owners of the place. The strangers tell them that there is a power outage in the city and that they need to seek refuge, and they ask politely if they can stay there with them. These honestly gave me vibes like Us from Jordan Peele, so I'm kind of intrigued because this premise, I mean, it's not something that we've never seen before, but it's something that always opens up a lot of possible scenarios and resolutions. You Better Watch Out by Sarah Norton, and this has been chosen to be the YA book club pick for the month of December, and I'm so happy because this was my pick. So every month we vote on Goodreads, which is the book that we would like to read next month. Amy McCall, who is the one that organizes this book club, she always offers, I think, around 4 options, and we all vote. And this was my vote, my pick for the month of December, and I'm so happy that it won. So I got a copy, and I'm really excited to dig into this one. This is YA horror. We are at a boarding school and it is Christmas season, and they all decide that this year they're gonna make Secret Santa. So they're all really excited about it, and we follow one of the girls at the school. She's 16-year-old Ellery, and she is not the most outgoing person. She doesn't have a lot of friends, so she's really surprised when she actually gets a present from her Secret Santa, and she's a little bit scared to open it because, like I said, she doesn't have any friends, so who could actually be leaving a present for her? And she also remembers that last year the new girl at school went missing also around Christmas season. I'm really excited about this one because I think it leaves us so much room to play with the presents and what the presents are and who are they for and who is the one gifting these presents. So I'm really excited about this one, and also obviously a Christmas themed YA horror is something that I don't see too often. Then I wanted to read some short horror stories for Christmas season. I think that short horror Christmas stories are so cozy, and so I am picking up a book that came out last year, and it's called Christmas in the Empty Cabin, a collection of supernatural and horror stories for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and other holidays by E. Reyes. And I have read another novel by him before. I believe he's a self-published author, so I always like to support indie or self-published authors when I can. So I'm really excited to dive into the stories. Then I have a novella, and I chose it kind of because of the title, which is The Christmas Morning Massacre. It is by Nasser Rabadi and follows college students that are really excited to finish their semester and get to go home for the holidays. And they are planning like a big party and watching movies and stuff like that. But of course, there's going to be a serial killer on the loose. So I'm hoping this is going to be like your classic slasher, and yeah, I think, you know, when you do a slasher in a novella format, it can get really nice, like with the pacing and the intensity of the killings. So I'm really excited to read this one. And yeah, then we're gonna move to some romantic Christmas books. So during summer and during Christmas, I always love to read a little bit of romance, and this year is no exception. So I did look for books that I have not read yet that are around Christmas season, and here are the ones that I have picked. Tangled in Tinsel by Ellen Mint. And this one, you know, I'm kind of intrigued because I never read books where the characters are like a lumberjack or like anything like this. So we follow a lumberjack and a cowboy, and they are both kind of struggling at the moment. There's a lot of things going on in their lives. Let me say, a lot of things are not going right in their lives, and they don't have time for love. But as we know in this type of stories, they're gonna find each other, and even though they're like, no, I don't have time for this, I just cannot get wrapped up in a relationship right now, probably their attraction is gonna be too much, and they're gonna end up together. That's my hope. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. You know, it just sounds like your typical Hallmark Christmas movies. That's what I'm going for this Christmas. Mary and Sprite by Danny Lakely, and I'm not gonna lie, the fact that there was a cat in the cover kind of sold this book to me. This is like a holiday rom-com with a little bit of magic, and I'm so excited. Jonathan decides to move across the country in order to leave behind his ex and his past, and he ends up landing in this really small town. Now, when he gets there, somebody puts a spell on him. And there is this other boy in town who he doesn't really like because he really gets on his nerves, but apparently that guy is going to be able to help him with this spell that he has been put under. I don't know if it's going to be really enemies to lovers, but I don't think they both like each other at the beginning. At least Jonathan doesn't seem to like the other guy from the very beginning. I don't know what to expect because it also has magic in it, but I'm really excited, and there's a cat, so yeah. And that is all that I have put on my TBR pile for now. I do have a couple other options on my Kindle in case I get through everything quickly or in case I change my mind, but I would like to stick to this month's TBR pile because it is all, or for the majority, it's Christmas themed, except maybe one thing, this thriller that I want to read because the movie's coming out. The rest is really Christmas themed, so I would like to keep it like that. And those are, you guys, my plans for my reading month of December. Let me know down below if you are planning to read anything that is also Christmas related. Doesn't matter at all which genre it is. Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you all, as always, in our next coffee time. Bye!